Something that I think is not talked enough about is how beauty standards have shaped the understanding of what health is. When I talk to most people and they're explaining how they want to get healthy, it's never about how they want their mind to be sharper. They want more focus. They want more energy, whether that's to like keep their house cleaner or keep up with their grandkids or, join the community softball team. It's never about those things. It's always about, I want to look skinny. I want 6-pack abs. Like it's very superficial and very appearance based. And that's just interesting to me. And I know I thought like this too. And I'm not so sure like the history of how we even got here, how we started equating like skinniness and maybe like long hair to health. But we have. And I just want to say that is not health. Being skinny does not mean you're healthy. And then that goes on, like, that's led to this body positivity movement, which is really great because everyone should feel comfortable in their vehicle, their body. Like this is what you have to create with here on earth. So I would suggest you be comfortable in it, right? So it makes sense. And so it's led to this like being comfortable being sick because people don't understand health and bodies are getting bigger and bigger. And because the beauty standard has created the vision of health, there's been a push in that direction. But if we kept it simple and understood health, being fat is a symptom. Being overly skinny is a symptom of poor health. You could be skinny and sicker than a fat person. It's crazy to me. And we need to start reshaping what health means. And I don't know, I guess I'll start with my understanding of health or what health is to me. And health is having the energy which gives me the capability to do the things that I want. So if I think I want to plant a garden, I can do that because I have the energy to do so. Like, if I want to run or practice like running for a 10K, I could do that because I have the energy. Now I may not be able to do it off the bat because like I have to train my body to be able to, withstand that amount of running, get my feet used to that. But I'm not talking about building up endurance. I'm talking about having the ability to even fuck around with endurance. Like that is health to me. Whereas being skinny or fat is really just a symptom of your health, your level of energy. It's not like, it's nothing more. That's really all that it is. But we've given it way more meaning than it deserves, to be honest. I want to input as well, because I use only examples around physical activity. But I also want to include those that are around mental activity, because those things require energy as well. So some examples of those: if I want to write, I don't know, if I want to write a book, I have the energy to do that. If I want to have, teach a class, I have the energy, like the capacity to do that. Versus like some people get brain fog or burnout and stuff like that because their mind doesn't have enough energy to carry on those type of activities. And so when I'm talking about energy, it's not just in the terms of like physical activity, it's also talking about mental activity. And I think it gets in the way of people achieving health for themselves, because all they're concerned about is, going from a size 12 to 6. And it's like, that's great and all, you lost the weight, you're a size 6, but that heart condition is still there. Like, you're still congested every morning when you wake up. Is skinniness, all we wanted? And, that's the female perspective, because it's like we're supposed to be thin or voluptuous in all the right places. And I'd imagine the male perspective is, you need big arms, you need to be fucking 6 foot, and you need abs. And it's just like, I know so many people or males who have those things, like, but they don't have health. Like, you could ask somebody who lifts every day and looks strong as fuck to like try to run a 10K, and they wouldn't be able to do it because they don't have the energy, the true representation of health, because their heart can't take it because they've been eating high fat for the last 5 years to achieve a body standard based on looks alone and nothing else. And to be honest, those body standards to me don't even look good anymore. Now that I understand like why they look that way. When I see a super strong buff dude who I can tell like eats chicken and rice every night, maybe with some vegetables or something, protein powder, all that shit, like the stereotypical like lifter, bodybuilder, or whatever. Like, it looks crazy to me because I see it for what it is. They do have a lot of muscle, which is like awesome because they're using their muscles every day. Of course they would grow if they continue to build up that endurance of that muscle. But on top of that muscle and around that muscle, I also see fat. There's a ton of fat. Like, people achieve that look a lot of the times. I'm not saying every bodybuilder and every lifter, so let's just be real. I'm not attacking all. But a good portion are fat with muscle. There's a shit ton of fat because they're eating too much energy, like, and they're not using it. It's as simple as that. Like, they don't need all that fat to build the muscle, but they need all that fat to get that look that's been told is health. Damn, and I'm just thinking about women too. Like, they getting these BBLs and all these big titty things, and to think that like the reason why breasts get even that big is because their lymphatic system is stuffed to the brim with toxins and fat. So you got a big chested girl. But that's the beauty standard. Sickness. Is that not insane? Man, I just have to like talk about it because I'm looking left and right and I'm like, y'all look crazy. But before, when I was in the Delulu, conditioned to believe that beauty standard, I was like, oh, they look good. Man, they've been putting in work. And you know what? They may have been putting in work, right? Like, I think those guys that go to the gym, or gals that go to the gym, I think they put in a lot of work. They're so disciplined. But they're not all healthy. Too many times you hear about athletes just dropping dead out of nowhere, like heart attack, and it's like, and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know what happened. They were so healthy. Then why did they die? Somebody who is so healthy doesn't just drop dead. That doesn't make fucking sense. Like, it just doesn't. So, I just had to talk about that. That's wild. The standard, the way health should be perceived should be on a very basic level. How much energy does your body have? Like, think of your body as a vehicle. It needs gas, else it doesn't run. And like, it needs to be taken care of, else it doesn't run. You try to run them same bald ass tires on that bitch for too long, and it'll blow the fuck out. Your vehicle isn't running anymore. You put the wrong gas in your car, you just fuck shit up. Now the engine needs replacement. The bitch don't run anymore. And it's the same thing with our body. I wouldn't just like put a dope ass paint job on top of my car that isn't seeming to start well and be like, oh, my car's healthy now. That doesn't even make sense, you know, like deck it out, I don't know, in the exterior, and then call my car like in good shape when the bitch can barely start. Like, that would be crazy. People would look at you sideways. But we do the same thing with our bodies, these vehicles, and then sit there and call it health. That's wild. And you know, I thought my grandparents were healthy, and I remember being so angry at like, what's the point in even trying to make the right decisions if people just die anyways? And it wasn't just my grandparents, it was other people throughout my life. I was thinking about just like nice people that I just felt like didn't deserve to die at the time. And I was like, why them? And it was because the decisions that they made with their vehicle, they didn't take care of it. And now I understand that it's not random. Like, I'll say death by disease is not random. Like, I understand like you could just get struck by a tornado and like blown the fuck around, and you know, it is what it is. But death by dis-ease is not random. It's an accumulation of the choices that you make by what you consume, either like orally or on your skin or through your eyes or even what you hear. It's not random. But I thought it was for so long, and I was so angry about it. And I'm just realizing this. And I guess I'm letting that anger go. Like, my grandparents were not healthy. They ate way too much fat. They ate way too much processed food. They smoked for a good portion of their life because they grew up in that time where cigarettes were healthy. They just did a lot of things. But you know, my grandfather worked out, and my grandmother like ate grapes and nuts and seeds often, so I thought she was healthy. Man, it's crazy too. Like, and then too, we wouldn't even get tricked by these infomercials or whatever, about these products, like these quick fix products to health. Like, they're all over YouTube, you know. Like, have you not been able to focus and study? And do you find yourself wasting time scrolling? I don't know. And then they like offer up some dumb shit to like fix that. And it's like, if you understood health, those commercials wouldn't even get you. Just like if you understood health, smoking a cigarette, like even if you were told it was healthy, that shit wouldn't get you, because the moment you put something in your body or around it or ingested it in any type of way, consumed it, and you realized it took energy from you, you would understand that it doesn't provide health and it is not healthy. Now, you can choose to partake in it anyways. Like, we have that choice. And I sometimes take it. I ain't gonna lie. But you would understand the choice you're making. You wouldn't be in the dark. Anywho, that's my TED Talk for today. Much love. Happy healing. I want to explain a little bit by what I mean about energy, because I talk about, if you understood health, you would understand something is taking your energy. And I think it's very understandable that people get that when you go to the gym, that takes energy. Like when I'm editing this video, that takes energy. When I'm talking, this takes energy. But in my experience, that is very external. Like, you can see that, so people understand it. That makes sense to them. Versus eating something that doesn't serve you. Like, if I were to eat bread, I know there's gluten in there, and I know that sets off my symptoms. So I could use my energy to eat that bread, and then, my body has to use energy to break it down, to get it out of my system, to stop any viruses from feeding off the gluten in there and causing other issues. Like, I can use my energy for that if I want. Or I can use my energy to go to the gym. And it's like, which one has more benefit? And which one, if I do more over time, will I get something in return? Because if I go to the gym, I'm building up muscle. My glucose storage is increasing. So then I actually can store more energy. There's a benefit from that. Versus me eating bread, all that's happening is my energy is being taken to digest that bread and remove it from my system. I'm not gaining anything from that. And I know people might think that there's certain nutrients in there, but it outweighs, even if there is like the minute bit, it outweighs all the energy that it takes to break down all the negatives in that bread. So it's understanding that process, what takes energy. And I think the gym example is very clear to most people. But what people put on their body, in their body, use in terms of anything you digest via the senses, I don't think that's clear to most people. When you're breathing a cologne, that's taking energy for your body to remove those chemicals that you've just smelled or have landed on your skin. That's taking energy. And when you understand that, you might decide, I don't want to take energy trying to smell like vanilla going to the gym, because I want to, hit, I think it's called a PR, personal record. Not a big gym goer, but, you might want to hit a PR, and things like consuming bread or putting on cologne are taking the energy from you creating that reality for yourself. So when I'm talking about health and in terms of things that take energy, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the energy of just speaking and doing the daily activities such as taking care of yourself and all that. I'm talking about the things that take energy away from you doing those and meeting your basic needs. And I just want to make that clear.